Every night, in cities like Bangkok, Manila, and Bali, thousands of doors open to strangers seeking relief. They enter looking for relaxation, but some leave with something they never expected. What happens when a simple massage becomes something more? When does a professional touch turn into an emotional connection? And when loneliness meets opportunity? These are the confessions you won't find on travel blogs. The stories men tell in the dark corners of the internet, where anonymity allows truth to surface. Today, we're diving into a world most people pretend doesn't exist. A world where boundaries blur, where money exchanges hands, and where two kinds of loneliness collide in rooms lit by candlelight. But here's the question that haunts every one of these stories. Who's really paying the price? Let's start with the men. They arrive by the thousands. Businessmen on layovers, retirees with pensions, divorced fathers escaping memories, digital nomads chasing freedom. Most come for the beaches, the food, and the culture. But there's another industry thriving in these cities. One that operates in plain sight, yet remains carefully coded. Not every massage parlor is the same. Many are completely legitimate, staffed by trained therapists providing genuine healing services. But others operate in a gray zone. And it's here, in these dimly lit rooms, where our first confession begins. According to a Reddit post, a Western tourist confessed, saying, "I didn't go looking for anything shady. I swear, I just wanted to relax after a brutal work year. Found a place near the old city, looked clean, professional. She was in her early 20s, soft-spoken, careful with every movement. But here's what got me. She asked about my day, asked if the pressure was okay, asked if I was traveling alone, and when I said yes, she just smiled, like she understood. That 90-minute session felt like the first time someone actually saw me in months, maybe years." This is where the story gets complicated. Because for men like him, starved of genuine human connection, a simple question, "Are you traveling alone?" can feel like intimacy, but was it intimacy? Or was it simply good customer service? That's the question that haunts every one of these confessions, and the answer is never simple. Let's talk about what's really being exchanged in these rooms. Yes, money changes hands, but something else is being traded too. Something far more valuable and far more dangerous. Attention, recognition, the illusion of being chosen. A British man in his 40s, on an anonymous post, made this confession. "I'm 48, divorced, 2 kids I barely see. Went to Manila for a conference, wandered into a spa near Makati because my back was killing me. The therapist, let's call her Maria, she asked my name before we started. Used it throughout the session." "Is this okay, David?" "David, would you like more pressure here?" 3 days later, I went back. She lit up when she saw me, said, "I was hoping you'd return." Made me feel like I mattered. According to the post, David went back 5 more times during that trip. Each time, the conversation got deeper. David talked about how the therapist shared details about her son, her family in the province, and her dreams of opening a small shop someday. On his last night, she asked if David would like to meet outside the spa. "Just for coffee," she said. David thought it was real. They met at a pub, talked for 3 hours as she held David's hands across the table. She told him that he was different from other customers. Special. Then she mentioned her son needed tuition money. Not asking directly, just mentioning it. And there it is, the moment where fantasy collides with reality. David sent the money. He tells himself it wasn't payment for anything, it was helping a friend. But deep down, he knows the truth. But admitting it would mean admitting he paid for the only meaningful connection he'd felt in years. Now here's where this story takes a turn, because we've only heard from the men, but what about the women? Meet the women behind the curtain. Most are migrants from rural areas, provinces where opportunities are scarce and poverty is crushing. They're daughters, mothers, sisters, survivors. For many, this work is survival economics. A massage therapist can earn more in one night than in a month of factory work. But the emotional labor? That's the hidden cost. Now, if you're getting value so far, could you please drop a like on this video? This really means a lot to me, and I appreciate every single like on the video. Thank you. In an anonymous interview, one of the therapists, let's call her Maria, confessed, saying, "People think we're victims or we're predators. The truth is more complicated. Yes, some customers fall in love. Yes, we know it. Do we encourage it? Sometimes, because a customer who feels special tips better comes back more and maybe helps with real problems. But here's what they don't tell you. We get attached too. Not to every customer, but some. Some are genuinely kind, respectful, lonely, just like us. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable, because it destroys the simple narrative. These aren't always stories of deception versus naivety. Sometimes they're stories of two people using each other, and both knowing it and choosing it anyway." Maria continued, "I had a regular Australian man, maybe 50. He'd come twice a week, always polite, always tipped exactly $20, never asked for anything extra. One day, he told me his wife had died, started crying at the table. I didn't know what to do, so I just held his hand. He came back the next day with flowers, said no one had let him cry like that before. I think about him sometimes. I hope he's okay." Was that manipulation? Compassion? Both? The answer depends on who you ask. Eventually, the vacation ends. The men go home, back to their lives, their jobs, their loneliness. But something has changed. This is the addiction nobody talks about. Not to sex, not to the service, but to matter, to be remembered, to have someone ask, "How was your day?" and actually wait for the answer. Some men spiral. They return again and again, chasing that first moment of connection. Others swear off relationships entirely, convinced all intimacy is transactional. And the women? They move on, because they have to, because survival doesn't allow for sentimentality. But sometimes, late at night, they think about the kind ones, the ones who cried, the ones who said thank you, the ones who saw them as human. So what's the real story here? Is this exploitation, romance, commerce, survival? Maybe it's all of those things. Maybe the truth is that in a world where connection has become currency, where loneliness is an epidemic, and where economic inequality forces impossible choices, these spaces exist because we've failed at something fundamental. We've failed at connection. Real, messy, complicated human connection. The men in these stories aren't villains. The women aren't victims. They're people navigating a world that's made genuine intimacy almost impossible to find, or too expensive to afford. In a recent post, an Australian tourist has this to say. "People judge men like me, call us pathetic, desperate, exploitative. Maybe they're right. But unless you felt truly invisible for years, unless you've forgotten what it's like to have someone look at you with kindness. You don't understand how powerful that is, even if it's paid for, even if it's temporary. For a moment, you feel human again. For every tourist who leaves with a memory they'll never speak about publicly, there's a massage therapist who goes home carrying stories she can never share. Both return to their lives. Both changed in ways they'll never fully understand. Both paying a price that has nothing to do with money. Because in the end, this isn't a story about massage parlors or sex tourism or morality. Now, here's a bonus tip. If you're interested in a genuine online dating with a Filipina, you can watch this video for all you need to know.